If you saturate with devotion a thought of God, and by your concentration impress that thought deep within you, then in the temple of superconsciousness, the Lord of the universe will come to receive that loving thought. Ask God to help you fulfill all the good thoughts and resolutions that you are making now for the new year. Resolve that you are going to do just what you think you should do, and that under no circumstances are you going to be cowed into doing otherwise by your old bad habits. Controlling Your New Year's Destiny, Self-Realization Fellowship Temple, Hollywood, California, January 2nd, 1944. There was a great lesson for me in the book I have been writing. I used to write without ever reading over the manuscript, a task I always avoided. But I had to go over and over every bit of my autobiography. The Lord disciplined me, yet in a noble way, because I have enjoyed reliving those wondrous experiences as I read the account again. I have ventured many projects in this life. I have lectured, designed and built buildings, done artwork, played musical instruments, planted gardens, founded a school, but always the secret power of my success was willpower. I can truthfully say that destiny is what you make it. Analyze yourself. What happened to your good intentions and noble ambitions of the past year? Did you let them die for want of dynamic will to accomplish? Make a strong determination to avoid repetition of old errors in this new year. Plan your time. Resolve that you are not going to be an automaton run by the world and by your own habits. That is not the way to true happiness. You must change. You must be able to change. Vague desire to improve is not enough. You have made yourself what you are now, and you can become whatever you want to be, but you have to use willpower. More confining than stone walls are the prison bars of habit. You carry this invisible prison with you wherever you are, but you can be free. Determine now to break out of the jail of habits and race for freedom. How frightful life is, that from the age of 3 we are limited by habit. As soon as I realized I was caged in by habit, I broke through all the bars. I would not permit myself to be bound by habits that made me say, I can't do that, or I have to do this, or don't do that to me, it makes me nervous, or I can't stand the cold, and so on. Why are these habits so strong from early childhood? Because they have been carried over from previous life experiences. Our moods are ink marks traced on the graph of life by the karma of the past. Wrong habits and moods are more offensive than the odor of the skunk. Why behave like a human polecat, making everyone else uncomfortable and punishing yourself as well? At one time or another, we have all done so, because we have all carried with us obnoxious peculiarities. Reclaim your lost divinity. But we can overcome undesirable traits. The human mind is elastic. If you pull it gradually, It will yield to your tugs, yet you don't even try. God has given us more than enough power to overcome all the trials and shortcomings of our lives. Saint Francis, though ill and sightless, could heal the sick and raise the dead. Outwardly blind, inwardly he beheld the great light of the universe. God puts his true children, such as Saint Francis, to greater tests than he gives to ordinary people. But no one passes through the gates of freedom until he has passed all God's tests, until he has learned to live like a true son of God. Why should you think of yourself as a weak mortal? You are potentially a son of God. You do not have to acquire anything. You have only to know. To try to be a millionaire in this incarnation is really much more difficult than to be a true son of God. Earthly environment is so limited that many people die without having become what they want to be. But to know God is possible in one lifetime, because you don't have to acquire him. He is already your own. Even if everyone were to pray day and night to become as rich as Henry Ford, their prayers could not be granted, because earth is not a place where everybody can be a Henry Ford. But everyone can be rich in spirit, for God has given everyone equal power to become like him. When you claim your divinity, everything belongs to you. A Henry Ford might lose his wealth or his health, but a Jesus Christ can create health or wealth or anything else he wants at will. So don't long to be as rich or as healthy as someone else. Have only one desire: to be like God. Jesus never claimed that he was the only Son of God. The Father loves you, his child, just as much as he loves Jesus. And God won't deny you anything if, like Jesus, you establish your true status with him. Meditation is the way to reclaim your lost divinity. Habits are grafts on our real nature, which is ever-free spirit. In my childhood, I used to get very angry, but when I made up my mind not to, I never again gave in to anger. If I hadn't used my will, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish that or anything else in this life. You too can create using your will. The errors of a lifetime can be corrected today. Make a resolution in this new year to realize the truth that although as mortal man you have certain habits, as a divine being you are free. Why should you lie to yourself? Why should you ascribe to yourself the faults of the past? You must destroy them. Otherwise, they will become grafts on your tree of life. You must not allow that. Affirm again and again, I am a child of God. I am one with God. Apply will and discrimination to resolution. Every strong resolution you make with great determination can become a habit at once. Why should you not be able to do what you wish, guided by reason? You must try. Away with all your faults. Review your actions of the past year. See what troublesome habits you may have displayed. Perhaps you fight with people, or you eat too much, or you are jealous. Make up your mind today and know that you are never going to do those things again. Just say to yourself, Paramahansa said he had an aversion to editing, but he became an editor. And if he could make himself an editor, I can do this. Why couldn't you? Everything I have tried to do with willpower has worked, and I give you hope that if you can make up your mind, you too will succeed. God has given you the power to dynamite your troubles. Beware, O ye mountains, stand not in my way. Your ribs will be shattered and tattered today. Those words are from a song by a great Swami. In another part he's saying, I hitch to my chariot the fates and the gods. The Romans used to tie prisoners to chariots and drag them on the ground, a terrible practice. Yet, in it is a lesson for us, for we allow our habits to treat us in the same way. We should make habits our prisoners rather than our captors, hitching them to the chariot of our will. We should drive them instead of letting them drag us. To be able to do whatever we know we should do, not merely that which we whimsically want to do, is it to be really free. Learn to discriminate in this new year. Examine every impulse that comes to see if it is the right thing for you to act on. And when your reason tells you to do a certain thing, let neither the fates nor the gods stand in your way. But if you find out that you are wrong, be able to change your mind. Some people are so stubborn, they do not want to admit they are wrong. But one should be guided by reason, not by blind will. If, after calmly reasoning, you make up your mind that what you have set out to do is right, then nobody should be able to stop you. If I had no job, I would shake up the whole world until people would say, give him a job to keep him quiet. I do not say these things out of personal pride, but that you may learn from my experiences. Work of any kind, if done in the right spirit, gives you victory over yourself. You may clean bathrooms, but if you do it with the thought of serving and helping people, you are showing the right spirit of a man of God. The attitude with which you work is what counts. Mental laziness and working unwillingly spoil one. People often ask me, how do you do so many things? It is because I do everything with the greatest pleasure and service of spirit. Inwardly, I am all the time with God, and though I sleep very little, I always feel fresh. because I perform my duties with the right attitude, that it is a privilege to serve. You must realize that you are a child of God. Make up your mind that you are not going to be run by that old habit-bound self. The temporary limitations and imperfections of the body and brain cannot hold you back. As soon as you give the verdict and strongly will to be a new person, you will change. You have been a prisoner of your habits, and it has not been good for you. It is because of wrong habits of thinking and acting in this and in other lives that your bodily kingdom yields now to invasions of disease, troubles, moods, and ignorance. From now on, you must say, I am not the slave of my body. I am the dictator of my own kingdom. My thoughts are going to be exactly as I wish them to be. Once you have changed your habits, you will say to yourself, how simple it was to do it. How unkind I have been to myself by not exchanging my soul stultifying habits for those that bring happiness. Are you a psychological antique? Habit-bound people can best be described as psychological antiques. They are the same, year in and year out. They say the same old things, do the same old things. Converse with them just a little while, and you can anticipate exactly what their next remark will be. Take a look in the mirror of introspection and see if you are a psychological antique. Most people are. But why should you be one? Change your habits. Cast out moods. Try to be better every day. Let people be able to say, what a wonderful change has overcome him. The man of self-realization has achieved mastery over the old, habit-dulled self. Recognizing such mastery in Jesus, the officers who had been sent by the Pharisees to arrest him came away marveling at his assurance, saying, never man speak like this, man. A master's nature is finite. It cannot be contained in the narrow confines of human conceptions. Every time I thought I had succeeded in categorizing my guru, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, I found him to be different, greater, non-classifiable. Sometime you have to break the habit of attachment to the mortal body and get back to God. There is no alternative. You are a prodigal son here on earth. Your infinite nature must be rediscovered. You will never be happy so long as you remain habit-mirrored, in ignorance of your eternal soul nature. It does not matter who you are. The only way you can find lasting joy is to go back to God. You do not have to leave earth's shores and put on wings. You must learn rather to be happy here and now, under all conditions, and to include others' happiness in your own joy. Go out of your way to make others happy. You cannot please everybody. but to those souls who cross your path, give kindness and love. There is no more liberating action than sincerely to give people kindness in return for unkindness. Why not be like a flower that gives fragrance even when crushed in the hand? The Gita teaches, "He who is free from hatred toward all creatures, is friendly and kind to all, is dear to me." If people criticize you, do not ignore them. See if you have the fault they ascribe to you, and if you do, silently correct your error. But it is seldom necessary to confess your faults to others. Often it is unwise. Should they become angry with you, they might unkindly hold your confession over your head as a threat. To a God-realized spiritual teacher or guru, you can tell your faults, but not to someone who cannot help you, and who might instead hurt you by broadcasting your flaws to others. A stream of divine power. Learn to mix with good people. The faces of many of you who come here have become more spiritual. And the more you are in tune with me and refrain from fussing about little things, the better you will be. A steady stream of divine power will flow to you, for the great ones sent me here. When I am gone, you will realize the truth with greater impact. I am here only to deliver their message. Little by little, a spiritual change will come to the true followers of this path, and their influence will spread over the world. Self-realization is one of the greatest spiritual movements ever sent to help mankind. It has been blessed by the great ones, Maha Avatar Babaji, Lahiri Messiah, Sri Yukteswar, in communion with Christ and Krishna. The grace of these masters is not gone from the earth. They are waiting to help you and to help the world, but they can work only through the free choice of man. The world has gone mad with hate and war, but Jesus' way of brotherly love is the solution to the world's problems. We can make this world proof against war by following his teachings as he meant us to. On this last meditation day, Christ came to me several times, first as a little child, then as a grown man, and finally as he looked before his crucifixion. I had been thinking that I would have to meditate long before he would come to me, and he surprised me. God was showing me through this experience that no further effort is needed once you have convinced him that you want him more than all the gifts of the world. Then he takes away the screen of mystery and comes to you as Christ or Krishna or Babaji, or as any great incarnation in whose form you desire to behold him. Make up your mind, in this new year, you are going to be more Christ-like in your behavior. You must make the effort now. You must meditate more. Self-realization fellowship was not brought into existence merely to give glimpses of God through his words. but that you might know him through your own experience. We teach that true fellowship with man can come only after one has gained experience of God. If you contact God within yourself, you will know that He is in everyone, and that He has become the children of all races. Then you cannot be an enemy to anyone. If the whole world could love with that universal love, there would be no need for man to arm themselves against one another. By our own Christ-like example, we must bring unity among all religions, all nations, all races. We must train ourselves to plain living and high thinking. It would be good if each family had a small garden in which to grow some of their food. Live more simply, so that you can find time to enjoy the little pleasures of life. Man races through his span, working, eating, sleeping, and that is all he accomplishes. Eliminate any habit or activity that disturbs your mental peace and happiness. In this new year, resolve to cast out from the temple of your mind all the devils of bad habits, to plan your life so that you can do all the things you want to do. If it is happiness you want, have it. There is nothing that can stop you. You are an immortal child of God, and all the difficulties that visit you are meant only to stimulate you to higher achievements. The best resolution: give more time to God. Choose which habits you are going to destroy in the new year. Make up your mind about them and stick to your decision. Resolve to give more time to God, to meditate regularly every day, and on one night each week to meditate several hours, so that you can feel your spiritual progress in God. Resolve that you are going to practice kriya yoga regularly, and that you are going to control your appetites and emotions. Be a master. Make up your mind strongly now. Think of the good resolutions you have made in the past, that you were not going to be dictated to by your old habits and thoughts. But have you kept them? It is an insult to your soul and to God to give in to your weaknesses. Be master of yourself, captain of your destiny. Danger and you were born together, and you are the elder brother, more dangerous than danger. Do not lose the courage and determination that you feel as you listen to me now. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, give us the strength to carry out all our good resolutions in the new year. May we always please Thee by our actions. Our spirits are willing. Help us to materialize all our worthy wishes in the new year. We will reason, we will, and we will act. But guide Thou our reason, will, and activity in everything. Om, peace, Amen.